And welcome to the fourth stage of Major League Show Jumping, coming to you from the capital of Canada, from Ottawa.
Yes, absolutely. We stand here in one of Ottawa's many beautiful parks, and we're just across the river from the Canadian Parliamentary buildings. Behind us is a statue of John By, who founded this city.
Absolutely, and everything you'd expect from a capital city, not only the beauty spots, but the culture, the arts and the live entertainment. And that is exactly what we're bringing you this week.
Yes, absolutely. The team competition is now really hotting up. The Trelawney Trailblazers come here off the back of 2 wins in a row and their 3rd podium finish in a row, and they are considered ones to beat.
But watch out for the home team, for a stacked team of Canadians in the Northern Lights squad, twice finishing on the podium in the last 2 stages in Traverse City and in Toronto. They're trending in the right direction. Will Wesley Clover Parks be the place where they put that #1 spot against their name?
Well, this venue is presenting an entirely new question to the horses and riders. A huge grass field, very different question to last week where they were jumping on sand and under lights. Lots of changes in the leaderboard have been made already, and it's absolutely all to play for this week. This is Major League. Welcome to leg 4 of Major League Show Jumping. What a thrill it is to be here in Ottawa, of course, Canada's capital. And what a fantastic setting we have at the Wesley Clover Parks for today's competition. Of course, 8 teams coming forward, and those teams that you've seen battle it out already this season for some of the top points. The main story today is that overall season standings, because the Trelawney Trailblazers are leading the way, but hot on their heels are the Crusaders and Team Helios, and shortly behind them, Team Eye Candy. So it's absolutely all to play for to get those valuable points. But they can't just jump in any order. They have to earn their place in this competition. This is how the order of go was decided the other day. Well, there, as you see, the challenge this week was golf, but these riders are hoping that, certainly for some of them, that their riding skills are better than their golfing skills. John Garner joins me here for leg 4, and John, this is the order of go. This is where they've ended up, and this is quite an interesting order that we have in front of us.
Yeah, very much so, Hannah, and great to be with you today. It's going to be a lot of fun. Spico Spies leading us off. They've got quite the team, and they'll be setting a very good target. And if you look all the way down through there, look at the last one to come in, Team KPF, and boy, do they need the points, and they couldn't have got a better spot, quite frankly. Yeah, absolutely. You know, they urgently need the points. They're in 7th place overall alongside the Roadrunners, and they sit on 14 points apiece. However, Team KPF, under a slightly different guise, were the winners of this leg in 2022. So it's an arena that's gone well for them.
Interestingly, though, they've had a few rider changes. They've got some established talent, they've got some young talent, but the penultimate team to go in are the Trailblazers, and so arguably they've got a fantastic position, and they may be able to capitalise on their recent success. 3 podium finishes in a row, 2 wins in a row.
Well, and they have got a great team. I mean, they are stacked as well, the Trailblazers, with Lily Keenan, Connor Swale, and the Egyptian veteran Niall Nassar. Yeah, I have to say, I got to be honest with you, Hannah, we talked about it a little bit off air. This is my first one watching this, so I'm really excited.
Well, we caught up with Daniel Coyle the other day, who gave us his rundown on the ones to watch.
Leg 4 of the Major League Show Jumping Team Competition, and alongside me is Daniel Coyle to talk through the teams for today's running here in Ottawa. Daniel, you've got quite the team today.
Yeah, I think actually it's about time we had a good team. We've been dragging our feet all season so far, but hopefully that changes today.
Road runners, you're going to be there. McLean Ward, Amanda Derbyshire, who's been our winner of the 2-star Grand Prix, and yourself. That's a pretty strong lineup.
Yeah, we have a very strong team today, and we all have high hopes, and it would be great for us to put a score on the board, and a good one.
Now let's talk the reality. Equals 7th at the moment in the championship. Trelawney Trailblazers leading the way at this point. We've got Lily Keenan, Connor Swale and Niall Nassar for the squad there. That's a tough one to get past.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, they're a great team and they have great horses, and yeah, they're well in the lead at the moment. But I think if our team is going well, we'll have something to say about it.
How are you going to beat them?
Just be faster and jump the fences. We have a good team today, and I think it'll be a good battle. So hopefully we get down to that stage.
Okay, well, looking forward to this. Out on the grass there as well. This one going to really suit you. And of course, there's quite a few others in there. We've got the teams with a 19-point lead with Trailblazers over the Crusaders at the moment. We've got Alex Volpe, Charlotte Jacobs and Grant Sager for the Crusaders. They've been pretty consistent.
It's a strange format, this, because it can go one way or the other really, really fast. So it's anybody's game. Obviously, there's more favourites than others, but yeah, it can go either way, this.
Feeling good about teaming with McLean Ward?
Yeah, I'm glad to see him.
Good to see him back in action. Daniel Coyle is going to be in action with the Roadrunners, and will last year's winners, Team KPF, get to the top again?
Well, this course today is a stiff test. We've seen some stiff tests already this week set by our course designer, who is, of course, Canadian Olympic medalist Michelle Vaillancourt. And there's quite a lot to take in this arena. It's quite a large sweeping grass arena. We'll take a little look around the course then. This Ottawa branded Oxer is the first fence at number 1 before they take a left-handed sweep over 8 strides to fence 2, the Mark Motors upright. It's a right-handed turn then round to fence 3 on the far side of the ring, before they then have quite a long run down, which Michelle has explained is designed to encourage them to really stretch out here, down to the multicolour triple combination at 4A, B and C. It's 5 strides then to the Premier Equestrian Oxer at fence 5. And then this is an interesting line. They can go around the outside of the Cabana Coast Oxer, or they can actually cut inside to the Dragon fence at 6. It's 4 strides then to the Kubota Oxer at fence 7, before a 7 or 8 strides, they've got a little bit of a choice there, down to fence 8, which is the wall. It's left-handed again then, right over to the far side in front of the big VIP tents, to the Major League Show Jumping double at 9A and B. 4 strides then to the RBC upright at fence 10. And then 7 strides on a curving line left-handed to the Cabana Coast Oxer at fence 11. Long way around this course, and they now make another left-handed turn to fence 12. That's a red and white upright with a water tray underneath there, and then an 8-stride distance to finish to a red and white maple leaf design Oxer at fence 13. But how does it all work? That's the question here. Of course, 3 rounds to come. The first round will see all 8 teams compete, with all 3 riders from each team competing and with no drop score. This is how it all works.
In competition, round 1, how does it work?
8 teams, 3 rounds, and only 1 winner.
Scoring in round 1 is based on faults and time. Faults mean a fence down. That's 4 faults for that. And individual rounds also get a time attached to it as well. So a faults and time score for each individual, but it's not an individual competition.
We have 3 riders per team and all 3 scores count. The best total combined score for each team is what will determine the order from round 1, and the best 4 go through to round 2.
The key is stay above the cut line. It's as simple as that to get into round 2. 4 in, 4 out. It's as simple as that. Good luck.
Well, John, that's how it works. This is your first time having a look at one of these team competitions, and I'm sure, like me, you're very excited about this today.
I'm thrilled to be doing this and be getting to see it in this arena. I love this ring. It's a fantastic venue. The hosts do a wonderful job. Great horse shows here for a long time, so this is going to be fun.
So the first team in are the Spico Spies. Now, ever the bridesmaid in 2022, they had a lot of second place finishes, but never quite managed to clinch a win. They're sitting in 6th place overall at the moment, and they've had 2 5ths and a 4th place this season so far. So relatively consistent, but it was a big step up for them in Toronto to be able to make it into the second round, of course, and then ending up finishing in 4th. Shake Sweetnam is their pathfinder with RR Combella, and this is the first time that we saw him with this horse in the team competition was last week in Toronto, where he jumped a double clear with this.
Well, that's going to give him a lot of confidence moving forward here out on the grass. Of course, very different setting. And in Angelstone, where you get the sort of the cozy confines, if you will, of the sand ring, and away we go.
Yes, this is actually the first time that the team competition has been run on grass this season so far, because, of course, at Thunderbird Show Park in Vancouver, we actually jumped on the sand there as well.
Gotcha. All right, well, Shane, I'd have to say right now he's doing a bit of a, I would say he's putting a steady performance. He's not really going chasing, focusing on leaving the fences up. I expect probably take that inside turn that you mentioned there inside the Cabana Coast Ox at that skinny, the Welsh Dragon, that will come up quick. But nice even tempo. Well, it's just opening up a little bit. Get across to the far side from our viewpoint to the MLSJ combination.
Time allowed 81 seconds here. But as you say, he's not really rushing.
He isn't rushing. He's trying to be efficient, but I think taking into account, you know, the relative inexperience of his horse, he's going to be okay. Clear round. That's a good start.
Great way to get things kicked off for us here. Spico Spies absolutely showing us how it's done. It's a very strong lineup that they have here today. And Shane Sweetnam, you know, he's a man to watch, even with a less experienced horse.
Oh, he really is. And I said it before this week. I mean, he basically lives on Michael Blake's Irish national team these days. He's a solid rider.
Well, the next young lady heading into the ring is Lacey Gilbertson. Last year, she was a real stalwart of the Spico Spies, and she actually jumped more clears than any other rider on any team. However, this year so far, things haven't quite been going her way. She's been having a few fences down in Vancouver and in Traverse City, so she sat it out last week. Both of those performances already this season were with her other horse, Damsel Saint-Amel, and she picks Carlin here. And I wonder if that's a decision based on the tricky rounds that she's had so far this year already.
So she got benched, did she?
Yes, she did.
Well, so far she's come back very well. This is a distance you can't chase. Yeah, team orders. Well, she rode that very well. Had to step up a little bit, though. When you get those arcing turns, you do go outside the line. But nice recovery. Looking like a good decision to put Lacey back in. Oh, just pressed a little bit on landing through the combination. Second one coming down as well. I'm going to get absolutely crucified, aren't I?
No, I just really feel for Lacey, because she, as I say, she was so incredibly impressive last season, and it's just not going her way this year so far. You know, there were a lot of good points in that round, but unfortunately, it's a score of 12.
Right, and without that drop score, she just came off the ground a little too quick there to the combination. Carry over to the RBC. I will contend the RCMP vertical really didn't need to come down there. That wasn't really a riding issue.
So the Spico Spies now sit on a score of 12 with one rider still to come. It's going to be Jordan Coyle with 4 gold. Again, we saw Jordan in Vancouver, and then we haven't seen him in the last 2 legs of the team series. But in Vancouver, he did ride this horse as well. This is 4 gold, and he jumped clear in Vancouver. Jordan also had a really good performance in the 5-star Grand Prix qualifier last night, finishing in second place to his brother.
Yes, he did. My goodness, he was absolutely flying in that that jump off on Ariso. I thought he'd maybe done enough, but his brother Daniel was not to be deterred. This is nice.
Yeah.
Just keeps that light contact as he rides all the way through. Staying very forward.
I mean, he's great against the clock.
He's got an innate feel for pace.
But he knows what he needs to do now, because with a team total of 12 already, he knows that trying to keep the fences up is absolutely crucial.
Right.
And the Spico Spies really don't want to be trailing anymore. I mean, they're on 26 points, and ahead of them, the next team is on 30. So they're not too far back. So they really.
Oh, he got flat there, Hannah, coming through the turn. Well, that may prove very costly for the Spies. He's going to bring their aggregate time well down, but that rail down, I think, is going to be very costly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 4 for Jordan Coyle, but crucially, it's 16 for the Spico Spies. Of course, they are the first team out, so we haven't really had a chance to see how this course is riding, but I still, 16 is a pretty big score.
12, you could contend that, I mean, that's a rail down for each rider. That's easily done around this track. But I think once you get over, over sort of an average of 4 faults per rider, it's you have to think it's a bit dodgy.
Yes, absolutely starting to struggle, but the crucial thing is that they must stay above the cut line. They need to be in the top 4 to head into round 2 and to be in with maximum points. Crusaders come next, and again, the Crusaders are another team who have a really interesting story. Their riders here are Alessandra Volpi, Charlotte Jacobs, and Grant Sager, and a little bit of a mix of some established horses and some newer ones on the squad there for them, but they actually sit in second in the overall season standings right now. Their point score at the moment is 33, so they are some way behind the Trelawney Trailblazers, who lead, but the Team Helios are in third, and they're on 32, so only a point separates them.
Very close.
So it's really crucial here. The Crusaders, again, they were a team in 2022 who really did not have the best season. They had some tricky results, and this year so far they've had a 2nd, a 4th and a 5th, so twice into round 2. No doubt they'll be hoping for that again.
Absolutely. All right, Alessandra, she's had a very good week. She's ridden very well. Couple of rails going against her, but looks very comfortable out here on the grass at the park. The sun now starting to come up. It's been an overcast day, let's say. Balancing round through the turn, getting nice and square. Ooh, had to fight for that one. See what their team orders are. She's going around.
I think the time has not been tight so far, so perhaps that outside line to try to guarantee the clear.
That would be my guess, Hannah, especially when you've got that, you've got the 16. You're thinking, okay, if we can sort of get one clear round and then just 4 faults here or there, we'll be all right. Ooh, She really had to push out. A little bit flat, but Gracia coming up with the goods. Now, stay on it. One to go. Oh, she should be just okay on the time. Oh, what an effort! My goodness.
Fantastic, fantastic effort at the end there from Alessandra Volpi on her first appearance on the Major League Show Jumping Team Series as well. She gets the clear with Gracia Dupachis and really sets the pace for her teammates.
Well, that's a good foundation to build off of. Like in any team competition, you want something solid from your lead-off rider, and Alessandra absolutely produced.
Charlotte Jacobs then comes in next for the Crusaders, this time riding Andrade 3K. We've seen Charlotte jump for the team in Vancouver and in Toronto. Those two performances, though, were not with this horse. They were with Rinkula Milchon, and she jumped double clear in Vancouver and a clear in Toronto. Interesting to move to a different horse, having had the success with her other ride.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about moving them around. I think you want to keep them fresh. Maybe she thinks with Android, who's a very big jump-in type, the open grass field maybe suits him a little bit more. He has lovely technique. Every once in a while, just gets a little bit on the inside shoulder for me, and just cost her there. Oh, dearie me.
Oh, dear.
Well, how quickly it happens.
She really needs to get that rhythm back now, and I think she made a very wise decision to take a circle there.
But very costly. That is going to really add up with a circle, and she's going to get a mitt full of time faults. Thing with this team competition, you got to finish.
Got to finish, and no drop score makes all the difference.
It really does. Getting back on form now. All of a sudden, the 12-fault performance from Lacey is not looking as disastrous, is it?
Mm. And that's the thing, isn't it? You know, they were the first team in, and so we haven't really been able to put that into context. And now it's looking like this course is is going to take quite some riding.
It really is, and I mean, Shane Sweetenham, as you would expect, just skipped around.
Charlotte Jacobs then to the last bit. As you say, this will be costly for time as well. 92.92 on the clock, and with the time added, that gives Charlotte a total score of 32. That means that the team score is, of course, 32, and with that in mind as well, I'm not sure that we'll see very many teams also finishing on 32, but in terms of the cumulative time, she's really put the Crusaders in a very difficult position when you factor in the Spico Spies time. Grant Sager has been left with quite a task. Yogi FLP, the ride. He's jumped 5 rounds for the team so far this season. Just one clear so far, so he's looking for another clear, and he's been swapping between Frida and Yogi.
To some degree, though, Hannah, I think a little bit pressure's off. Right, I mean, really, he's, they are really in the hole. But you also, you never say never. Anything can happen. It is sport. It's high-performance sport. And we would not have expected that score from Charlotte and Androida. So if Grant can stay on it, he's a naturally quick rider, as we see. I mean, he's already set about it. He's got a bit flat there.
But very much having the pace up early on.
Yeah. Probably overcooked it a little bit.
They're finding the B to C element in the triple combination quite short there.
Yeah. Well, again, when you add in the extra pace, the distance disappears on you. The horse's stride gets longer. The jumps come up so much quicker. Traditionally, upright always seems to ride just that hair shorter anyway. Come on, Grant. Just the one so far.
At this stage, as you say, Grant has a little bit of the pressure off, and it's going to be a tough day for the Crusaders today. So it will just be the one pole down. It's a good time, 70.27 seconds. It's actually the second fastest time that we have had so far. The fastest was Jordan Coyle earlier on. Grant Sager, though, adds the 4 and puts the Crusaders on a total score of 36. Arguably, the door is now a little bit open for some of the other teams, and certainly the next team are one who are incredibly competitive. Quite the change around in their squad this year, but we spoke with Ashley Bond earlier on this week as well, and she was saying that she's really confident in this squad. It's a little bit more of an experienced squad versus 2022, and she selected Vanessa Hood, Roberto Taran and Erin Ballard here today.
I would say that's an experienced group. Yeah, I could be convinced with that.
Erin makes a horse change from her previous appearances on the team this season, but Vanessa Hood is going to lead them in. Cascal Reto is the choice of ride for her, and this is her first appearance for Team Helios. Helios sit here in 3rd place in the season standings on that 32 points, just the 1 point behind the Crusaders, with an 8th place in Vancouver and 2 second places in a row.
Wow. Good comeback.
Good comeback, but of course at this stage last year they'd already had 3 wins. So
they're on a downward trajectory. That's what you're telling me.
It's not been as easy a ride as it was last year. Not been as easy for them. But still, you know, the 2 second places were very impressive. But they are, of course, looking to climb up from 3rd and very competitive and really want to get the points and get further up the tree as we head towards the middle part of our season.
Well, interestingly, for the 2 teams we've seen so far, both lead-off riders have been faultless. It's the middle riders that have really caused the issues for them. You know, Vanessa making somewhat of a comeback here at the top end of the sport. High performance jumping. I mean, been away for a little bit, but still plenty of experience, and with McLean Ward as a guide in hand, you know, everything's going to be taken care of from a course walk standpoint. She'll know exactly what the plan is. Going around the Cabana Coast Oxer, get a little more square for the Dragon Skinny. Came in a little bit narrow there.
And the strategy for a lot of these riders might change now, having seen a couple of teams pick up heavy penalties.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, realistically, I mean, you keep churning out the clear rounds with a time fault here and there, it's not going to be that big of a deal.
Especially when you consider that we scrap the score from round 1 when we go into round 2.
Right.
But what a great way to kick things off. She did jump a clear round here last season. That was for Team Lugano, as they were last year, but gets the clear for Team Helios. Doesn't let the pressure get to her.
No, I say she's plenty of miles under her belt as Vanessa. So is this guy.
Roberto Taran Tafur comes next. Colombian rider, and he's been a big part of the Helios squad already. Jumped in Toronto just to have 1 pole down, and then jumped in the gold medal matchup, went up against Niall Nassar to clinch the silver medal in the end for Team Helios. In Traverse City, just had a pole down in each of his rounds. But yes, just fell a little bit slower of the time of Niall Nassar, but certainly a man who can go very quickly.
Oh, for sure. But there's plenty of people who can say they've fallen short on time with Niall.
Yes.
As quick as they come. But first job, keep the poles up with Callis. Put your team in a solid position.
And And you talked about whether the horse choices are a little bit based on whether the horse suits the ring. Interestingly, Roberto rode DSP Callas in Toronto and then now brings the horse here as well. Very, very different rings.
Completely, yeah. And you get, and for sure you get, there's the old saying, horses for courses, but you get some horses that are equally adept at out in the big grass, even as they are inside. I mean, inside jumping is a completely different sport, but there's plenty who've gone and done it all. The great H.H. Azur, of course, World Cup final winner, and has won every major Grand Prix there is to win, pretty much. So far, so good for the Colombian and Team Helios. One to go. How about that? There you go.
2 clears now for Team Helios, of course, last year's season champions. He's pretty close to the time allowed there. That's one of the, in fact, I think it may be, other than, the time faults from Charlotte Jacobs, I believe that's our slowest round that we've had so far. But in the context of this competition, I don't think it's really going to matter.
It's going to be, it will be interesting to see how it develops, of course. I mean, there's 2 teams right now that are really up against it. But, everyone else keeps jumping clear. All of a sudden, time does become a factor, doesn't it? But I think I do think they're hedging their bets a little bit with that. That's why they're going around that orange oxer. Erin
Ballard then now. Popular rider, of course, here in Ottawa, here in Canada. And now she rides Nanini van Dabellendrief, in fact. This is the first time she's ridden this horse on the team series. She's been riding Narcotique van Het Dingensoff. She's jumped a couple of good clears for them. A double clear in Toronto. And was one of the riders. Ooh.
She had to push for that. Just didn't quite get the drive through the turn. It'd be interesting to see what Erin does here. I kind of feel like she's going to drop inside to the skinny, but we'll see what team orders are. Nope. She's going around. She's a naturally quick rider, so I don't anticipate a real challenge on the time allowed.
Looks like a real team strategy happening here.
Yeah. That's where the lower draw obviously helps, right? They've watched the first 2 go. So, okay, let's gear it back. Stretched out over the MLSJ oxer. Really fighting here is Erin. 2 to go. Yeah, she's looking in great shape. I won't jinx it.
She's good for the time as well.
Oh, no problem. Never any doubt. Okay. There we go.
That's how it's done.
Clear, clear,
that is how
clear.
It's done. 3 clears on the board then for Team Helios. They add absolutely nothing, and they are, at this stage, head and shoulders above the other 2 teams. What a performance.
Oh, fantastic. You like to see that team strategy we talked about, and when your lead-off rider goes and plants a flag in and gives you a clear round like Vanessa did, it really does take the pressure off your other riders a little bit and say, okay, now we can just go ride. There's no damage control at this stage. Fantastic performance.
Team Helios looking very strong here today, and they're looking for as many strong performances as they can get their hands on now. Team Eye Candy are the next team to head into the ring, and this is another team with quite an interesting story this season so far. They were the winners, of course, of the Major League Show Jumping season in 2021. Last year finished in 2nd, and it was really a battle between Helios and Eye Candy throughout the season. This year, they set off with an absolute bang in Vancouver, had a fantastic win there, and then had a 7th place in Traverse City, a 6th place in Toronto, and things have just not really gone their way. It's been tricky for this lady as well. Unfortunately, she had to retire in Traverse City, and so that meant that they couldn't count 3 scores. So that was a really tricky performance, and certainly one that was difficult to watch. They came out with a brilliant lineup in Vancouver, and it's just not quite gone their way. So that means that they're sitting in 4th place at the moment, but they're still on 30 points. So actually a good result here. Let's say the Crusaders don't do so well. They could overtake them.
Right back in the mix.
Ah, what a pity. Just has a toe on the front
Yeah.
rail.
Yeah, just push through it a little bit. Fighting there to keep him on line. Nightcap just getting a little bit squirrely. Jumped very well yesterday.
This is the first time she's ridden this horse in the team competition. She was riding 007
Oh,
Deleki.
come on, come on.
Oof.
That is some ride there.
A little bit of encouragement from the crowd as well, heading to that fence.
I think everybody was holding their breath, including the horse. There we go, that's better. He just looks like he's giving Jess a bit of a challenge out there today. Not quite as settled as earlier in the week. She's really having to tug and pull and ride and attack. Well, this is going to be some performance. She can leave it to 4, which she has.
Very close on the clock as well, 79.49, but just that one pole down, and that fence has been quite problematic so far. But as you say, there were a few edge of the seat moments, if you like, in that round, but she did very well to keep it to the 4. A result of 4 could still be really good for this team.
For sure, yeah.
And we've got 2 experienced combinations coming forward here now. Richie Maloney comes next with Roxy Music. He was on the squad in Toronto and just had 1 pole down in round 1. So this is his 2nd appearance of the season for Eye Candy. He was part of the team last year as well.
He's a real fighter, is Richie, of course, a veteran of Olympic team jumping.
Has a good look around here, just making sure of some of these lines. He looks a little to me like he's having a look at that inside turn on the Cabana Coast.
Well, I think to your point that with Jess being so close there, like a few extra seconds that you could shave will be very helpful.
You know, when you factor in the score of a team like the Crusaders, actually, you know, one of the key points about this particular leg of the series is how much that leaderboard could be shaken up today. Yes, they all want to have a good result here, but they also all want to be in a good position in those standings.
Well, he's going around. He's keeping the gallop up. Knowing Richie, probably took one look at it and went, yeah, not for me. Fighting hard there for the Parliament building. Had a few horses look at that flower little island out there. You know.
I don't know if the sun's hitting it now in a certain way, but beautifully dressed arena, of course, and it is quite eye-catching with those flowers. He's getting some pace up here.
Yeah, he really is, yeah. He's coming through the turn now. RCMP, 1 to go. Great ride, Richie Maloney.
Yeah, fantastically done there. Kept a little bit of a pace up in some places, but actually, you know, took some of the wider lines, and again, looked like there was a little bit of a strategy to just aim for the clear. So 79.98 on the clock, but they stay on 4, and that could be crucial. I hope that they can get into to round 2, but we will have to see how that pans out with 4.
Are you pulling a favourite here, Ms. Robson?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's the purple jacket, isn't it?
Well, no, but you know, they've had a great start and tricky performances, and so you know, sometimes it's all about consistency in this kind of team series. And
for sure, in a series like this, absolutely.
And you know, that's why the Trailblazers are so far out in front. No other team has been on the podium 3 times in this season so far, so it is all about that. And I just feel if Eye Candy have a non-top 4 finish, it will set them back a little bit more. And Paul O'Shea, though, is the man in the saddle now with Squirt Gun.
What a great name.
Yes, an Eye Candy owned horse. Jumped for 1 fence down in Toronto. And in 2022, he rode Squirt Gun on the majority of his team appearances.
Another real solid professional, Paul O'Shea. He's been doing this for a few years now. He really knows his way around. Squirt Gun give him a very nice effort down that line. He's going around again.
Interesting that Eye Candy choose not to field Amy Miller here this week. Really did think that was an interesting choice because she's been such a key part of the team last year and of course this season so far as well. But leaving it to these 3 riders today shows a really good depth of their squad.
I was going to
actually.
say, if you've got good squad depth, it allows everybody to get in, be a part of it. Oh, that was desperately unlucky.
Well, Paul O'Shea just clips that 1 pole. Again, not the fastest round. It's going to be a team total of 8 for Eye Candy. But in the context of the competition so far, that still could end up being a good result.
They're in okay position, I'd say, right now. Again, because we've just seen how quickly the rails can come down.
Yeah. Yeah, they really, really can. And actually, as we head towards the latter part of this course, there are some more technical questions further back in the course. And again, that makes it a bit of a test of stamina and endurance as well. So the Roadrunners come in next. And this man is one that I think many people are really interested to see here this afternoon. It's McLean Ward. This is his first appearance on the Roadrunners for this season. And the horse he's selected is First Lady. Roadrunners sit at the moment in 7th place on just 14 points, so they are trailing a little bit. McLean will be joined on the team today by Amanda Derbyshire. She, of course, was the winner of the 2-star Grand Prix earlier today, and by Daniel Coyle.
This is what I would call a stacked team, Hannah. I got one of the greatest riders to ever grace this sport leading off right now.
Yeah, McLean Ward, world number 4 in the latest world rankings. But yeah, real treat to see him in action and a treat to see him in the team competition. But the Roadrunners have absolutely packed this lineup full of talent. You know, they finished 4th, 8th and 8th this year so far. So again, this is crucial for them.
Well, McLean showing his intention.
Very tight back.
Really good. I mean, this is such a quick horse anyway, First Lady. Recovering well from his bad fall from a few weeks ago. Just got a little bit quick there, coming out of the RBC vertical.
This is one of the fastest rounds we've had.
Now he can just be patient now. He doesn't have to go chase it. Allow the jump to come. There we go. Clear and quick. 69.45. Wow.
Amazing. Just amazing. We have had, I think now 2 rounds sub 70 seconds. But that is what you've got to do to keep the time down. But what a fantastic way to kick things off for the Roadrunners.
It's absolutely what that team needed. And kind of curious now what Amanda's team orders are. Who's it, Amanda or is it Daniel going now?
Should be Amanda heading into the ring next. Daniel Coyle comes in preparation.
Okay,
Bit of team tactics going on there.
Yeah, well, this is what's one of the many things that's cool about this now, right? They can just wander around now, talk about how McLean rode. It did exactly what he thought it was going to do. I wonder, just because McLean was so quick, does that allow Amanda just to go around the big fella, with Otto, and maybe not have to be quite so as aggressive, although she does ride quick anyway.
Amanda, of course, the winner of our 2-star Grand Prix earlier on today, so hoping to continue her good run of form in this this show in Ottawa at the Wesley Clover Parks. Amanda had...
Come on.
Ooh.
Just got stalled a little bit through that turn.
I'll just say she didn't quite have the day that she wanted in Toronto. Unfortunately, took the wrong course.
Oh dear.
And so was eliminated, which results...
We should call her Amanda Leicestershire then. She's going off course, not Derbyshire. That was a dig at you.
Wow. Well, John.
Gloves are off now.
Look.
The gloves are off. Had a girl. Anyway, she's recovered. Oh, my goodness. I thought she got through that turn nicely, but Otto just went at it a little bit.
Yeah, just getting a bit quick round that turn and picks up the 4. But if they can finish on the 4, that would as well be really valuable here. As you say, you know, she's able to use this horse's big stride around this ring.
I think she'll be kicking herself a little bit there. She didn't need to be as aggressive into the turn for that double. She just came in a little bit tighter than I think than really she needed to. An extra stride, it wouldn't have cost her anything clockwise. But you got Daniel Coyle now to pick up the pieces.
Absolutely. Daniel Coyle brings forward Ivory TCS. Daniel has a really good strike rate in this season so far. He was on the Crusaders for the second half of the season last year. Comes forward, of course, here on the Roadrunners squad. He jumped double clear in Vancouver. That was with Gisborne VDL. Had just one pole down with Quintin in Traverse City, and then jumped clear last week in Toronto with Ivory. A little bit of a bittersweet result for him there. You know, great to get the clear, but tough on the team result. And, you know, chooses Ivory once again here. So out of the 4 rounds that he's jumped for the team this year so far, 3 of those have been clear.
That is consistency, and that is why he is one of the top ranked riders in the world, comfortably inside the top 20.
15th at the moment.
You don't get there by luck.
And of course, the winner of the 5-star Grand Prix qualifier last night as well.
Yep.
And that can bode very well for the rest of the week. You know, last week we saw Kent Farrington win the qualifier and the Grand Prix.
Right. Well, I think just as an athlete, anyway, when you are winning, when you're getting those performances in, it fills you full of confidence. It knows, it just underlines your belief in yourself. Oh, you had to fight there. Just got hung a little through that turn. Well, we've seen team orders having going around to the Dragon upright. This team said, no, we're going inside. Trying to be quick. Through the tricky line now. Basically 3 single fences. She just gets a little drapey at times behind, but she's very quick.
Yeah, really good for time.
Oh, it's come down.
Very light touch
wow.
there.
How costly could that be as we come down?
Well, it's 1 pole down for Daniel Coyle, gives him a total of 4, gives the team 8. Crucially, the Crusaders drop below the cut line. It is game over for the Crusaders. And the Roadrunners are faster than Team Eye Candy. Both of those teams on a total score of 8, but the Roadrunners are out in front by nearly 20 seconds. Yeah. It's a big margin.
It really is. Well, that's 3 riders all taking the inside turn to the Welsh Dragon. And on top of it, I mean, 2 of them are lightning quick, let's be honest. I mean, McLean Ward and Daniel Coyle are 2 of the fastest riders on the planet.
Well, this competition is getting shaken up already, and we still have 3 teams to go. This is the home team, essentially, the Show Plus Northern Lights. Home team here in Canada. Alexis Sokolov will kick things off for them, and she'll be followed by Lexi Ray and then Nicole Walker. this is a really good lineup of horses that they have here.
Yeah.
These three ladies are, you know, Alexis and Lexi, very much younger riders. You know, they're going for the girl power today in this competition. Alexis actually made a really good impact for the Show Plus Northern Lights in 2022. She didn't ride on the team too many times, but when she did, they were in the top 4. Fasole de Seigneur is it's an interesting horse. She has an interesting way of going.
Yes, she does.
But actually, you know, she trains with Connor Swale, and they were saying that actually the horse is relatively straightforward to ride. But she's had some great results with this recently, and it's really nice to see her make her first appearance of the year on the team.
Well, I saw her out in California during the Nations Cup show out in San Juan Capistrano. It was my first experience of seeing her. And yeah, I mean, she is a fighter out there. Just got a little bit too close and quiet on that front rail of the ox. So this is a horse that really likes to gallop along.
The Northern Lights are another team with a really interesting story for me from last season, because they missed out on a top 4 finish several times, 3 times in fact, purely on time.
Wow.
And you know, it's a team strategy that, as they've explained so far this season, that they do have an eye on the clock because they don't want to be making that mistake again. And it's really shown because they've had 2 third-place finishes in a row.
Well, I think unfortunately that decision proved costly coming into the skinny by doing the inside turn. Got another rail down.
But, you know, but that may have been a little bit of a team tactic.
I 100% expect it is, Hannah. But those are things too. Is I think also at times you go, okay, well maybe if we have a rail early, maybe then we do go around and just you know, damage limitation, right? Because now they're up against it.
8 then for Alexis to kick things off for the Show Plus Northern Lights. Remember, if you are less familiar with this team competition, we don't have a drop score. We have 3 riders go per team and all 3 scores count. So the Show Plus Northern Lights now sit on 8 and we have 2 riders still to come. Lexi Ray makes her debut for the teams here this afternoon with Evita, as former rider of Sam Walker.
Right. Well, interesting strategy here for me now. We were just been talking about the time. First off, they've got to keep the jumps up. But from a rider comparison, Alexis, oh, no. Oh, it's immaterial now. I was going to say Alexis was a full 4 seconds quicker than Eye Candy's Jess Mendoza, so put them in a good position time-wise. But that rail, very costly. It really doesn't matter now. The time for these guys becomes irrelevant.
Yeah, they now need all of these fences to stay up, because otherwise, you know, we're heading into Spico Spies sort of score territory, and that cut line gets very close.
Absolutely. Well, one thing we know for sure is Team Helios and Team Roadrunners will be in the top 4. They are going to stay above that cut line with only 2 teams left to come. 12 faults already on the board for Show Plus Northern Lights. So they can now start planning their strategy of who's going to do what when. Although I'm fully expecting it was already decided. Good recovery for Lexi. She got herself into a little bit of trouble early, but
she's over the time here.
Yep.
First set of time penalties that we've seen be picked up, and you know, that certainly wouldn't have helped there.
Nope.
So 8 for jumping and 2 for time for Lexi gives her a score of 10, and unfortunately Nicole Walker's round now is
becomes immaterial, I think they say.
Yes, indeed, does become immaterial. You know, as 18 or more, it's game over. No round 2 for the home team, unfortunately. Nicole comes forward here with a tout de trompe. And yeah, you know, whatever her, really, she's looking for still to try to keep her clear, because they would love to pick up more points for finishing, say, 4th.
Right.
Than in 7th or 8th. So it's not necessarily all over for the Northern Lights because they've had those 2 podium finishes. But it's going to be over to give someone else a try today.
Right. And great having a rider like Nikki Walker as your anchor. Never gets flustered.
She jumped double clear at Traverse City with this horse. Impressive performance there.
And you can see how she set about it. She's thinking about the time as well, staying on the gallop. Beautifully done there. Barely touched the rein, saw it right out of the turn. Dared a 2 to go jump it. Now, a little shape through this corner. Very good. Really well ridden. She's getting a performance out of a big chestnut.
Stretch over the Cabana Coast.
It really did, didn't it?
Really stretched.
Very elastic. Atta girl, Nikki. Nice pickup.
Great time as well, 70.43. And great to get the clear.
Yep.
You know, she's now jumped only clear rounds in this team competition. Clear in Vancouver, that was just 1 round. Double clear Traverse City, now clear here again. Brilliant record for her, but unfortunately the team total of 18 is going to see them in 5th at the moment. But we still have the Trailblazers and Team KPF to come.
But to your point, Hannah, it's just having the, okay, it's got to be a gut punch that you're not going to make the cut, but those other points are extremely valuable or could become very valuable as the season goes on.
And
you've got to keep fighting.
Yeah, and with the Northern Lights being in 4th place, they're pretty close. They're actually tied on the same number of points as Eye Candy. So again, that could really be a big shake-up. The Trelawney Trailblazers have been incredibly strong so far this season. They're leading the way in the overall season standings, a 3rd, a 1st and a 1st. That's what they've had so far. They're the only team to have been on the podium at all 3 previous legs. And again, this is a really strong team, but it's that consistency and those podium finishes that means that in terms of the season standings and the points, they are 19 points ahead of their closest rivals.
Yeah, and I can see why. I mean, you talk about consistency. Well, you can throw this group of horses and riders out there on a weekly basis. You're going to win. You're going to win more than you're going to lose.
Lily Keenan comes in first with Agana van Hetgerendal Z. So far, she's jumped 2 double clears for the team, looking to keep up that fantastic record. Lily's been, up to this point, used in the 2nd round by the team. So, you know, she's been one of the riders who's got them into the gold medal matchup.
Oh, she's just a naturally quick rider. And with Agana, she's got a real athlete here.
Lily sits 30th in the world rankings at the moment.
She won't be there for long. She's going to be right back up top.
The Trailblazers have 5 of their 6 riders in the world's top 50, 4 of those in the top 30.
I think the defense rests on this team.
But once again, you know, she's not necessarily going for the time, as she looks like she's aiming for a Team Helios score.
Well, again, with those other scores that are out there, you can really sort of just take your time a little bit now. Trust the quality of your horse, just as Lily's done there. Beautiful start.
Yeah, beautiful round. 77.28 is the time, so she's well inside the time allowed. Not the fastest, but she's all too aware now of what the scores are of the other teams, and she knows that the team need to finish ahead of the Spico Spies. They need to finish on a score better than 16 to knock them below the cut line, and she's getting them off to a great start. Connor Swale is going to follow Lillian. Connor, another rider who performed well, another top 10 finish in the 5-star qualifier yesterday. He's been on the team for all 3 of their podium finishes this season, but generally been riding. He rode Theo 160 in Vancouver, and then at Traverse City and in Toronto rode Castorano. Won the gold jump off with Castorano in Traverse City. But now it's Vital Chance de la Roque, just waiting for Connor to head into the ring.
So this is interesting with this team, right? They're coming in sort of one at a time, as opposed to the whole team in there milling around. I think for me, if I was doing it, that would be my approach. It's a little bit more normal. I mean, if you're the third place rider and you're going together, you're out there for a good 3.5 minutes before you're really doing anything.
Yeah. You know, depends, I guess, what the plan is for each individual horse in terms of preparation just before the round. Connor's letting Vital Chance de la Roque have a bit of a look around here. Yeah, strong performer. Of course, he was on the Eye Candy squad last year and helped them to 4 podium finishes. Consistent in 2022 in this team series across sand and grass. Jumped 8 clear rounds, 4 on sand and 4 on grass. But, you know, that's his record only in this team competition, and being the current world number 10, he's got experience in spades.
Yes, he does. He's just a flat winner, is what Connor is. Oh my goodness, he had to fight there. That is one of the things that makes him so special. Is he never gives up on a ride.
Takes the inside line.
Yeah. Vital Chance fighting for him as well. Really firing up. There you go. Just a little more settled now. He's getting strong though.
And that's what Michel Vaillancourt was saying. He's actually really designed this course to encourage the horses to get running on and to get a bit long and flat, certainly down the technical back end of the course. But no real problem for Connor Swale.
No problems at all. Quick enough, wasn't he?
Yeah, quick enough. 72 seconds exactly on the clock for Connor Swale, and gets another clear for the Trelawney Trailblazers. We're sitting in a very good position here. Team Helios lead the way in terms of being the only team to finish on a clean sheet at the moment, but their time is not very quick. At this stage, though, if the Trailblazers can keep on a score of even a 4, you know, they'll be in the top 4. Or a quick 8 even. Could see them still in the top 4.
Yeah, there is room for an 8 in there.
No doubt the Spico Spies will be watching this very intently.
Very carefully, absolutely. Yeah.
Niall Nassar then is the final rider in for the Trelawney Trailblazers with Jiminy Cricket. This is the man who clinched the gold for them in Toronto. That was with El Conde. Jiminy Cricket, very different horse here.
Yep. Spico Spies have probably basically already given up hope, I think. Yeah, hard pressed to think that this guy's going to have 16 faults or more. So very well balanced there. Jimmy very sharp in front. Well, there's the bailout ride, right? Taking his time. They know they've got 2 quick rounds already in the bag. That's what I like to see, is you've got a plan, you've got a strategy. Okay, now let's change it up. Let's go a little more defensive. Let's trust our anchor guy to go do the job. Shape around, get Jimmy all squared up for this difficult line. A little bit of a right drift there on takeoff. Well, strong right leg, keeping him back, coming around. And 2 to go.
Making fairly light work of this. 1 fence left then for the Trelawney Trailblazers to potentially take the lead here. Ooh, 82-38. He's actually going to pick up 2 time penalties. But actually, you know, that goes back to your point earlier that a time fault here and there, it's not really going to matter in the scheme of this.
It really isn't. And, you know, it's about getting on the dance floor, right, for the top 4. And as long as you're there, he's not going to worry about that. And so I think that was just part of their strategy. Is like, okay, well, let's go around, let's take some of the risk out, and post a clear round. They know they're coming back now.
2 for the Trailblazers, and as you say, now they're going to get ready for round 2. Now they're going to make their rider choices for round 2. Crucially, the Spico Spies now drop below the cut line. They will finish at the moment in 5th, and Team KPF take to the stage. Last year's winners of this leg.
This is a pretty good team too.
Alison Robitaille takes to the stage first for them with Esther du Morgray. Alison rode this horse in Vancouver, had a couple of fences down. In Toronto, she selected Oakingham Lyra, rode the team's only clear there.
Well, I 100% expect that Alison will have gone and done the homework required for Esther to get that organised. And there's not a lot of room for error though now with these 3 riders. Really looking for Alison to use all of her experience, come in with that clear round, taking the inside turn. So far so good.
Interesting approach, because she may have an eye on a potential score of something like an 8. She's definitely got an eye on the clock.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you can get a good banker time in there, again, that just, too quick. Just too quick there. Now, you gotta leave these next 2 up, Ali. No, and that's down 2. Oh my goodness me.
It's all falling apart. Oh, what a shame. Great time, 70.66, but for Alison Robitaille, it's 8, and already Team KPF are on the same score as the Roadrunners, as Eye Candy.
Well, it's the Eye Candy score, isn't it? That's the one you're targeting. So, what she is, though, is she was 9 seconds quicker than Jess Mendoza. That allows, in my head anyway, that allows Mimi Gotchman, at the very least, to not worry so much about the inside turn, leave the fences up, and then let Natalie Dean and her great horse, Okada, come in and mop up. Ooh, it's getting all exciting.
Very exciting. We really need 2 clears here. If they can go clear and inside the time, that should see Team KPF fairly likely. You know, they should be in the top 4 there.
Yeah.
Mimi Gotchman with Halita BH is the next rider in. Now, this young lady has been so impressive recently. She was into the jump off. She was in the top 10 in the 2-star Grand Prix earlier on. She was on the podium. She was 3rd in the 5-star Grand Prix in Toronto, and jumped the only clear of the team in Traverse City. That was with Cosmos BH.
Come on, Mimi. She's taking the aggressive line.
She's on a 4. So
Oh, it's all over.
it's all over for Team KPF.
Which jump come down? I don't think I saw it. Must have been in the triple.
Triple combination causing quite a lot of problems for these riders. And there, another fence. The front rail there, yeah. And the third.
Dearie me.
Oh, Mimi, this is not her day today.
It's not what they drew up now. I mean, now they're have gone behind the Show Plus Northern Lights. Absolute disaster for Team KPF. Another one. My goodness. Oh, she caught the back rail coming down of A and the triple.
It's 16 then for Mimi Gotchman. That is such a pity. It's a team total of 24 for Team KPF at best. They will be 7th, and they still have a rider to come. It is Natalie Dean with a Kota M. This is her second start for the team. The first was in Toronto, where she had a bit of an uncharacteristic round, had 12 with Oasis van der Buxthaler. Now a Kota M, considerably more experienced horse that she's bringing forward here, but unfortunately, once again, this is not going to make a difference to the team total. You know, they're going to finish 7th or 8th here.
Right. They'll be hoping 7th. It would have to be an absolute disaster, you think, for Natalie.
I mean, they've had so far this year 7th, 6th, 7th. And unfortunately, that has them in 7th in the overall season standings. They do tie with the Roadrunners, though, on 14 points. But this performance is going to separate them considerably from the Roadrunners. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Team Helios up there at the top. Trailblazers coming back. Oh, my goodness me.
Oh, Natalie.
She took an absolute flyer there and missed by a mile. As you said, I mean, somewhat immaterial. Having said that, I mean, a couple more rails, and she won't bring Crusaders back into it for that 8th spot. And they should be quick enough, even if she did have these last 2 down, which I don't anticipate.
Time's fine. Final line looking good, but 1 pole down for Natalie Dean. She gets 4, and the team total there is 28. So Team KPF finish in 7th place. The Crusaders will be in 8th. That's not what we've come to expect from them this season, but it really was that tough round from Charlotte Jacobs that's put them in this position.
Right.
We do have a top 4, though. 4 teams above the cut line, and they are... Stephen Wild is standing by to take us through.
Thank you very much to the team. Yes, an exciting first round, as those following will see. The cut line is up there, those below it and those above it. Those above it are what we're counting on now. Those are the teams that remain in, and a fascinating group of teams. The best of them, Team Helios, and into round 2 they go in reverse order. So the team currently 3rd in the championship, winner of the championship last year, will remain in. The team that have won the last 2 stages, the Trelawney Trailblazers, after not yet being off a podium, are still very much in the hunt here as the second best team coming through from scoring there as well. And Roadrunners that look so strong on paper as well. McLean Ward, Amanda Derbyshire, Daniel Coyle, they book their place into round 2 as well, as do our team for Eye Candy. The champions from the first year as well of Major League Show Jumping will remain in there. The winners from Vancouver with Jessica Mendoza, Rishi Maloney and Paul O'Shea. Now the key part for round 2, we'll explain in a few moments time, is 2 riders go forward to round 2, and it's about speed. And the teams, the scores go back to 0, but they go in reverse order of their times for round 1. So we keep Helios, we keep Eye Candy, we keep the Roadrunners, and we keep the Trelawney Trailblazers. It's goodbye to the rest, and we'll take a look at a few features now. We say hello to some top riders, including Ashley Bonds and Vanessa Mannix.
It has been a mixed bag for Helios so far. First outing wasn't stellar, but I think we've made up for it in leg 2 and now leg 3, and then hopefully this one in Ottawa, we will at least duplicate, if not better, our last 2 results. So, you know, fingers crossed, we're fighters and we've got great horses and great riders. Yeah, definitely pleased with the team and how they bounce back from Thunderbird. But I think adversity builds character, and I think when it starts off a little bit hairier, it makes you fight a little harder. And now we want it, I think, just that much more. So we'll see how this week goes. 100%. The league is growing every year. From the first year to this year, the quality of riders and horses is 10 times what it was the first year, and the courses and the level is way higher. So I think it's just bringing the North America 5-star circuit comparable, hopefully, to Europe. You know, that's the goal, is to be just as good, if not better. Yeah, my first outing felt good. I jumped Toronto the first year, so I kind of knew what to expect. I brought out Garfield. He was a little rusty. I hadn't shown him in a while because I went to Europe with Donnie, and he jumped the first round brilliantly. He was a little tired in the second round, so we had a couple rails, but I ran really fast, so it made up for it, and that's kind of what I love about this league. The fault's converted. It kind of gives everyone that chance. Yeah, the squad is very different. I think it's a little bit of an older squad, so a little bit more mature, I would say. Yeah, like Vanessa's a super cool, like calm, cool, collected character, and she's, you know, come back into the sport with a vengeance, and I think she's doing a great job. And Roberto's great to have, and Aaron is awesome. So I'm loving the team. You know, the vibe is good, and I think, you know, we can bring it just like we did last year.
Premier Equestrian is the leading provider of arena footing products in North America, featuring a full line of footing products to fit any budget. From home arenas to prestigious events, like Major League show jumping, Premier Equestrian is the company to rely on. Horse owners, trainers, and facility managers know the importance of good footing. It supports the safety and conditioning of their equine athletes. Premier Equestrian understands this too. Call us at 800-611-6109 or look us up at premierequestrian.com.
I think the Northern Lights are really coming into their own. We had so many close chances last year, and then this year we've just like really been knocking on the door and then executing. So it's been awesome, 2 podium finishes in a row. It was really fun last week in Angelstone. I have to say, like, I absolutely adore our team. We've got really good team energy, jumping alongside Ali and Nikki and Sean, which are the kind of the teammates I've jumped with, but also feeling the rest of our team in the stands cheering for us. I think it's really translating to good results in the ring. I would absolutely say we learned a lot about strategy from last year. We were 5th over and over again, often by just a second or 2 or one small kind of fraction. And what we really realized is that, yes, you have to jump a clear round, but you also have to be fast. So I think like it's really a calculated risk. You go in, you want to be competitive, you want to be quick, but you can't risk having a fence down. So I think that we found like really the rhythm that you need to be traveling to make that second group here. I think it's a combination of each of us individually have some great horses, riding well, but also really nailing down like what is our strategy when we go in the ring. And I think that each time out we've been getting closer and closer to getting on that podium, and now you see like 2 third place results in a row. The last time we were 5/100ths of a second off of being in the gold medal round. Like, we really couldn't have been any closer, and I think that we're really building some momentum, and combination of good individual results, good horses, good team behind us, and then really strong team energy together. I have to say it's a totally different feeling to ride for the team, and one I really love. Like last week I was 3rd to go in the ring. I knew that both of our team members had put in solid performances. I needed to jump a clear round, and there's something that makes it feel a little bit bigger than yourself. Like you have that extra level of pride and pressure. go in the ring and you know that you have to execute not just for yourself and for your horse and your own team, but you have everybody else cheering for you and hoping you go well. And I think that absolutely shines through in like the way that we've been able to get some good results. These are truly some of my friends and we have really great dynamics. I cheer for them all the time anyways. And I think that being able to now like cheer for them and have them on your team is just like an extra special thing. When you're in the ring and you're one of the three competing for your team, of course you want to do the best that you can, but it's being with people who I enjoy cheering for, who I want to do well kind of day in, day out, that like you still feel part of the team when you're on the sidelines, whether that's watching the course and giving one little tip here and there or knowing exactly what our team needs to do, or even just being there to pump up our riders that are in the ring. So I have to say, whether you're competing on the day or not, I feel like I'm a team member throughout the whole week. I think that being the kind of Canadian group of riders and we feel the hometown support, and then also just like some fantastic venues here in Canada, and it makes me proud as a Canadian rider to be able to show up and do well at these like 5-star shows in venues that really deserve to have 5-star events.
Well, round 2 is just a few moments away, and 4 teams are going through. Team Helios, the Trailblazers, the Roadrunners, and Team Eye Candy. And this overall season standings leaderboard could be very shaken up indeed. John is going to take us through the course for round 2. Of course, this being a shorter course, and it's all about speed. This is where a fence down gets you 3 seconds added. But John, let's take a look around this jump-off course then.
All right, Hannah, here we go. We're going to start off on the original fence 3 and then gallop around to fence 8, the Parliament buildings. And then we're going to go around swing left-handed all the way up to the top, 9AB, the MLSJ combination. So this will be an area to watch for sharp turn 1 to 2 and then really gallop across the field here. 9AB. Then they're going to drop inside left-handed to fence 7, which is the Cabana Coast Oxer. Going to really look around there. We got a left angle turn there. I think they're going to come across quite aggressively across that one there, Hannah. And then sharp right-handed to 4C. The final jump of the triple combination from the first round. Straight on to fence 5. The beautiful Premier Equestrian Oxer. Going to gallop on down there. Was 5 strides in the first round. Maybe you'll see a 4. We'll have to see. And then around for sure they're coming inside the Cabana Coast Oxer there to fence 6. Plenty did it in the first round. See no reason why you wouldn't do it. And then a long run home to fence 13, the Maple Leaf Oxer, and that's your final jump.
Well, there we have it. That's the course. But Stephen Wild is going to take us through the format for
Thank you very much to the team. Yes, it is a build-up to round 2. As you can see, that is the course. How does it work? Well, it is 2 riders into this round, 3 seconds added if they have a fence down. Now, their first round was all about qualifying, getting themselves into position like other sports, getting yourself into that key part of the grid. So 4 teams remain. They go in reverse order, and first up will be Team Eye Candy, and that's going to be Richie Maloney and Paul O'Shea. Just hearing Paul O'Shea's horse throwing his shoes, so the farrier has to put that back on. That may add a few seconds. That adds a little extra tension out there as well. So that discussion just going on. So they will be first up in theory for the Eye Candy squad, and so Jessica Mendoza will then go in the next round. So Richie Maloney and Paul O'Shea for the Eye Candy team. After that, it's Roadrunners, and they're sending out McLean Ward, the man that's twice Olympic gold medalist, as their opening rider for the team for the Road. Roadrunners. Now, they're way down in the scoring in terms of the overall championship at the moment, so they need some big points here as well. They have been 8th at the last 2 stages, which 8th means last, so they need more points here, and McLean Ward could be the man to deliver for them there. And he teams up with a European Championship bronze medalist and a winner of the 2-star Grand Prix earlier on today, Amanda Derbyshire and Otto BH. So they're going in reverse order of those. They start on 0, 2 riders go. And basically 3 seconds added if they have a fence down. There'll be a time for both riders. Added together, it is all about speed. So the fastest time gets them into position. And there's more to come on that as well. Team after that is the current leading championship team of the Trelawney Trailblazers. And it'll be Lily Keenan to lead them out. Lily, who's been on their winning team already this season as well. That was in Traverse City for her. And teaming up with Connor Swale and Vital Chance de la Roque. So the world number 10 will go second for the Trelawney Trailblazers. That's looking very strong as well there. And the team that go last are the team climbing back up the order. They were 8th on the opening round in Vancouver. They fell right to the bottom there. Last year's champions had an inauspicious start to their runs this year, but climbing back up with that 2nd place in Traverse City, 2nd again at Angelstone, and looking for a number 1 spot here as well. Vanessa Hood will go first. She was actually part of a winning team, different team last year here in Ottawa, so very much at home on the turf with Cascaretto. And second up will be Roberto Terrain and DSP Callas. The teams that are out, well, the Spico Spies, I'm afraid, out. Crusaders currently 2nd in the championship. That's a big move down for them as well, as they won't gain as many points here, so they've got some climbing to do on the next few stages. Crusaders not a part, neither the Northern Lights. I'm afraid it's lights out for the Northern Lights this time as they drop out of this round, and Team KPF the same for them. So in this round, 2 riders go for the team, and the key part here is the strategy, because you need to be in the top 2 teams after this round, because in round 3 we send in 1 rider, and if you're in positions 1 and 2 you can go for the gold or the silver. If you're in positions 3 and 4 after this round, the best you can go for is 3rd, is for the bronze medal. So the strategy really comes into play here. So the first part of the scheming plan is they get into round 2, which they've done. They play for position. Ideally you go last in here, so you see what the rest of the teams have done. You know what you've got to do to get into that position of 1 or 2 at this point. And then finally in that 3rd and final round they send 1 rider out for the team, and they will vie for those positions of either gold and silver or bronze and 4th, which gets no medal whatsoever. The 4 teams in the running of 4 really are on top form. So Helios will go last with Vanessa Hood and Roberto Terrain. Roberto Terrain producing some magnificent rounds at Angelstone just last week as well, so watch out for them. And then it is going to be from the second last, Trelawney Trailblazers, the current championship leaders, never been off the podium yet so far this season. They are really high on success at the moment with Lily Keenan and Connor Swell, and they're going to be holding back the man who won it for them in Angelstone as well, with Niall Nassar to go 3rd for the team into that final round. But will they be going for gold? Will they be going for bronze? That is the question. That's what this round determines more importantly. And the Roadrunners, those all-important points needed for the Roadrunners. McLean Ward and Amanda Derbyshire to put them in the hot seat, and Daniel Coyle, the world number 15, to come for the Roadrunners then in the final stage. And he's known for his speed and ability. He's got that great strength for a man who's ridden through European and World Championships already for Ireland, and brings that to the team here as well. So they're going to be hard to hold, but the key part is for his 2 teammates to get him in the right position for that 3rd and final round. And Eye Candy in there once again, 4th in the championship so far. And with Jessica Mendoza going to go their 3rd rider. Rishi Maloney and Paul O'Shea will kick it off for Eye Candy. Here we go.
Yes, Eye Candy are the first team heading into round 2. They come forward from that 4th place finish in round 1. There's the results. One of the 2 teams to finish on a score of 8, and therefore they will be first in through the gate here in round 2. But we discount those scores. It's back to a clean sheet. Now it's all about getting above the cut line again to get into the top 2 to go for gold. Eye Candy sit in 4th in the season standings, and this could be a really valuable result for them. A top 4 finish could be crucial. The strategy here is for them to field Richie Maloney and then Paul O'Shea. They're saving Jessica Mendoza for the medal jump-off, John.
All right, well, as our friend Mr. Wild told us, it's all about getting there. I mean, it's great to have a really quick rider for that potential gold medal rundown, but you've got to get there. And Richie Maloney, Paul O'Shea will be the ones firing on for eye candy. Richie sitting about it first. Table C, so 3 seconds added for every rail knocked on the floor.
Plenty of places to take an inside line
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
Ah,
Oh,
3 seconds
costly.
added already.
Already 3.
And you'll see from the time ticking up that that's already been included into Richie's time. But of course, this format means that a fence down doesn't necessarily mean it's all over.
Correct. You've got to keep going, keep the pressure on. Over 6, the Welsh jump and heading home. Over the last one. And there's his time, 45.68. There's your first marker.
45.68 would have been 42.68 without the fence down. Of course, has the 3 seconds added, but he was fairly quick. Fairly quick around there, but still I think the door could be open, certainly for some of the riders that we have to come. And you have to bear in mind as well, it's a cumulative time here. So Paul O'Shea follows Richie Maloney into the ring with squirt gun, and his time, whatever he can lay down here, will be added to Richie's. 45.68 is the total so far. One rider.
Roxy Music is a big stepper for Richie, so really could cover the ground. Squirt gun really doesn't have the same kind of stride, but a little more blood. Quick, handy type.
Paul won the gold medal jump off in Monterey, our second week there last year. So he's been in these positions of pressure in the team competition before, but he's off to a pretty good start here. That's quick over fence 1.
Yeah, and he did a stride less, which is interesting again, considering it's a little horse. He only took 8 steps to get from the first jump to the second fence. Very quick here. This is going to help.
Really going for it on landing every time, just making sure he doesn't waste any second.
Oh dear. That's going to hurt.
Well, through the finish line, it's 44.84 for Paul O'Shea. Unfortunately, that again incorporates 1 pole down. So the team total 90.52 seconds. That's the time to beat. Both of those riders had a fence down. So arguably, keeping that pace up and the fences up would get you ahead of them. But this man is one to watch. Certainly was one to watch in round 1. As he is in every competition.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's McLean Ward with First Lady, and he'll be joined here in round 2 by Amanda Derbyshire. They're saving Daniel Coyle for the medal jump off. That's sounding very strong to me.
It sounds a little unfair, really. I mean, you've got one of the greatest to ever play this game leading you off.
McLean sitting in 4th in the world rankings at the moment. These squads are just so strong. You know, for the Roadrunners to have 2 in the top 15 in the world on the team today.
Yeah, exactly.
Roadrunners in 7th in the season standings. Top 4 finish here is going to get them climbing up the ranks.
So interesting there from McLean. I would say he was just slightly on the steadier side from 1 to 2.
Yeah, it didn't have the pace, but it was a tight line, but not the pace. Yeah.
But he is so slick. See there how he creates a bit of an arc there. He comes in a little bit right to left and then comes out of the line left to right. He's slow, but he is slow.
He is slow. 47.41 is the time for McLean with First
Wow.
Lady, and that's given quite the task to Amanda Derbyshire.
It really has. I mean, she's got to. She's got to shave like 3-4 seconds off that trip.
She needs to come home in under 43 seconds if she's going to keep them ahead of Eye Candy. That's a tough task. That would be by far the fastest time that we've had so far. I mean, you know, she can be very quick. Otto BH is the ride here, and she's looking a little bit for redemption here, I think, you know, because it was such a difficult day for her in Toronto. Really a good performance here, I would think, will very much feel like redemption for her here.
She got a wide galloping 9, very similar to Richie Maloney's ride.
She's really using this big stride.
Yeah, very much so.
Covers the ground so well. Oof.
Nothing like a good old rain flap.
She's getting there.
Oh, he is fighting really hard for her. Great ride. She is absolutely
Oh, she is
flying.
going for it.
Oh, by miles. By miles. What were we even worried about?
What were we worried about? Amanda Derbyshire, she's got it all under control. 40.76 seconds. She is nearly 7 seconds faster than McLean.
Isn't that incredible?
God, that is just amazing.
I don't know if she got that boy turned.
I mean,
he was fighting. He was in that game for her, wasn't he?
that was absolutely edge of the seat riding, and what a way to do it. That is just incredible. So the Roadrunners sit on a total score of 88.17. And that's going to make things very difficult for the other teams because, you know, if we take an average, they need to be under 44 seconds each. We've actually only had one time under 44 seconds at the moment, and that's Amanda's. Stiff task, very stiff task.
Well, okay, my learned friend, not 100% true. If you take the poles away, the two Irish fellas were under 43 seconds each of their rounds.
Yes.
The running time is there.
Yeah.
Can you leave the fences up? So far,
absolutely.
only Amanda has done that.
Yes, you're right, yeah. Trelawney Trailblazers then, the season leaders at the moment, the most consistent team of the season so far, come in next. Lily Keenan and Connor Swale are the choices for today to aim to get them into the gold medal matchup. Lily with Agana, Van Het Gerendal-Zed. Both Lily and Connor, well, all riders jumped clear in round one. Ayana Sarr just picking up a couple of time penalties. Certainly won't be something he's doing in the medal matchup.
No, I doubt it. I'm just chuckling to myself, though, a little bit, Hannah, thinking that McLean Ward went really slow, knowing that Amanda Derbyshire was going to go lightning quick. I'll go take my time, Amanda. Don't worry. I have faith in you. All right, Lily Keenan. Agana can really cover the ground too. A little bit of a pause there.
Opening him up now. Cross to the double.
But I have to think kind of that they're targeting sort of an individual trip of around 43 seconds. And if they can do that and keep the fences up, they're going to be in really good shape, because she's just a hair wide there. Oh, did not leave it up. Now they're in trouble.
Well, Lily Keenan takes the pole down. The time that we have here is 49.14. Just double check that score for you, but yes, indeed, 49.14 is the score there for Lily Keenan. So it's a bit off the target that she had.
Really was. Really was.
And suddenly the Roadrunners are looking really good here. They're looking really very, very good indeed. Connor Swale is the next man to take to the stage. Again, clearing round 1. Vital Chance de la Roque is the ride, and he's been on the team for all 3 of these podium finishes, and no doubt he'd like a 4th to his name.
But how fast does he have to go? He's got to go like 41 and change, doesn't he?
I'll do a little quick bit of maths for us here.
That would be delightful.
39 seconds is Connor Swale's target.
39 seconds?
39 seconds. I mean, if anyone can do it. But he's got to absolutely go for it here. He cannot leave anything to chance. He needs to leave the strides out. He needs to take the tight lines. He needs to have the pace up. He knows that this is a tough task, and I don't know that this looks quick enough for me.
No.
Oof.
But I've said before, the thing with Swale, he's sneaky smooth. You don't think he's necessarily going that fast, and then all of a sudden, he's 3 seconds ahead of you.
And he's experienced in this team competition
Look at
now.
that.
He knows what he... Oh, that was a great...
That's what I mean with Swale.
Oh,
No.
he's not far off. He's not far off at 41.4.
0.02 of a second, and they're behind Eye Candy. They are not going through.
Yeah, behind 0.02 of a second. That is just the tiniest margin.
It's an eyelash.
It is an eyelash. So, no win for the Trailblazers this week. No 3rd win in a row. Could be a 3rd podium or a 4th podium in a row, but certainly not a win for them. Team Helios, they've been knocking on the door this season so far. Tricky start, and then 2 podium finishes as well. The 2 second places, and they really would like to have the win. It's Team Helios to go last in round 2. And Vanessa Hood will be first in for them. She'll be followed by Roberto Turan, and then Erin Ballard will take on the medal jump-off. Vanessa with Cascalretto. Of course, Team Helios were the team who kept a completely clean sheet in round 1.
Two rounds of 45 seconds apiece, and they're in. There's your target.
It's as easy as that. As easy as that.
An actual math whiz.
It's just outstanding that it's 0.02 of a second.
Isn't that wild?
Separate the Trailblazers and Team Eye Candy, and across 2 riders.
Yeah.
Nothing to separate them. Vanessa Hood, though. Team Helios looking for their first win of the year.
Just carry medium pace. You don't have to go blazing quick. Leave the fences up. Let it go. Come on, Vanessa, get your knitting. Oh my, come on. Take the wide arc, at a go. Hold your shoulder here. Hold your shoulder. Now go. Let him go.
Oh!
She did it. She left it
She
up.
kept it up. She did keep it up. Vanessa Hood then, she gets the clear. It's 46.33. It's a bit off what we were saying.
It's off. It's off the pace, but the Colombian maestro, I know he has a 44-second in him.
Well,
She just couldn't quite find that run down there, and I think had she got that, she would have been the sub-45 that they were really targeting.
Roberto Turan now needs to really go sub-44. Certainly sub-44.1 if he's to get them into that gold medal matchup. This is a really interesting strategic decision here, you know, choosing Vanessa Hood and Roberto Turan. He is so quick, and he's been in the medal jump-off several times. He was in the medal jump-off for them last week. DSP
Oh
Callas.
my goodness me. Quick, now what's he got to do, 41?
Now he's, 41. 41 is the target now. Roberto needs to pick up the pace.
I think he's already done. I don't think he's got 41 there. I mean, he just can't pull on the reins now, Hannah.
No.
He has just got to absolutely wing it. Keep going, Bobby. That's tough because it's a slow 5. You want to really fly there, and you can't. Come on. No chance.
No, this feels careful now.
Yeah.
Over the last early fence, 45-35 for Roberto to run. 91-68 is the team total.
My goodness me, they came in first, come out fourth.
Helios. That's how quickly this competition can change. So Team Helios are not going for gold. They will go up against the Trailblazers, the current first and third in the season standings, will go head-to-head for bronze. And going for gold, it's the Roadrunners and Eye Candy. What a lineup! What a shake-up!
Oh my goodness
me! And this is crucial because, you know, after this leg, the season standings will be totally different now.
Well, that's great. That is fantastic for the Major League.
You have to turn up and you have to absolutely show up with your A game in this competition week in, week out. And, you know, that's just evidence of it. Well, Stephen Wild is going to take us through the format for these medal jump-offs coming up next.
Well, fascinating competition and so close between the teams as we just saw there. Literally 200ths of a second, keeping that team back there for the Trailblazers, the leaders of the championship. It puts them into third, so best they can do is go for the bronze. Now, interestingly, our top two teams are the Roadrunners and Eye Candy. And Roadrunners equal 7th place, which means equal last going into the championship stages of this point here of the competition. Now, they've got a great chance here to lift off the bottom of the table and go for a #1 spot. It was a similar story for Team KPF here last year as well. So Roadrunners, now they bought into that former world #1 McLean Ward into the string alongside Amanda Derbyshire. What a round from her at 88.17. She really pulled it out of the bag for the winner of today's 2-star Grand Prix as well. And they're going to hand over to Daniel Coyle, who's certainly one of the best against the clock. So Daniel Coyle is going to be up against Jessica Mendoza for the Eye Candy team. The British rider who's been part of their European Championship squad with ICAP CLZ, and she's certainly got the speed and ability, but had a little bit of a sticky round in that first round. Can she smooth out those bumps for that final round to go for the gold? So going for the gold is Eye Candy and the Roadrunners. Now, just one rider comes forward for the team this time, and it's the rider that you haven't seen go so far into the round so far of that round 2. They went in round 1. They're kept for round 3. So Jessica Mendoza will go for Eye Candy with ICAP CLZ, and Roadrunners will send out Daniel Coyle, Ivory TCS. But before that, we see two teams who are battling for the bronze, for a place on the podium. Who will be third and who will be fourth? Trelawney Trailblazers miss out by just 200ths of a second, 90.52 against 90.54. The championship leaders, why is that important? Because it has a chance for the others to climb, and they're going to send out Nal Nassar, the winning rider from Angelstone. And then from there, they're going to be up against the Helios team, the team that won the championship last year. They've been slowly climbing their way back up. They need the points here as well. They were 8th on the first stage, which means they were last in the first stage. 2nd in Traverse City, 2nd at Angelstone last week as well. And they're sending out, of course, one of the local heroes in Erin Ballard with Nanini as well to go for Team Helios. So Erin Ballard is going to go against Nal Nassar to determine who will get the bronze medal and the place on the podium. And just a few more important points in the championship. Now, how does it work? We run right the way through until the finals at the Desert Horse Park in California in December. Number of rounds to come over the 9 rounds of the team competition in all. And then for, of course, the gold medal, we'll run down that with Team Eye Candy up against the Roadrunners as well. It's stacked with some of the world's very best, and with our group of riders here, all of which have featured through World Championships and Olympic Games, which shows the quality of the riders that we're going to be seeing here this afternoon as well. And now it's gloves off and a race to the finish. One rider in this round, same rules as well, 3 seconds added if they have a fence down. Why is that significant? Because under this rule, it means you could have a fence down and still win. So if you see a rider have a fence down, they are going to really up the gear at that point and absolutely floor it to the finish, because they have still a chance of getting ahead of their opponent. Unlike the traditional rules, it means you're not done and dusted. So speed is the order of the day, and here they come for our teams going for 3rd and for 4th, and it's going to be the teams at Helios starting us off against the championship leaders, Trelawney Trailblazers.
Yes, it's the bronze medal jump off. These two teams have not been in this position very often. Certainly not this season in any case. We have the Trelawney Trailblazers versus Team Helios. Last year's season champions versus this year's season leaders. So we'll have Team Helios being represented first. Erin Ballard with Nanini van der Bellendrief clearing round one. But unfortunately, fence down from Roberto Turan has kept them out of the gold medal matchup. So what Erin is trying to do here is trying to get the Trailblazers a podium finish. She's trying to get them the bronze.
Maximum points.
Exactly, maximum points. They're in third in the season, 32 points, and they were just 1 point behind the Crusaders. Crusaders, of course, way out of the running today. So in any case, Team Helios will go ahead of them.
Well, she jumped so big and strong out over the first fence. It took her a bit too long to get around there. Ended up doing 10 back to the second fence, the Parliament buildings. She does carry good pace, but gets a lot of strength and a lot of power. Not so easy to turn. You see how there she carried that arc there through the Henna. That's the quickest way to do that. Good job, Erin. Let's put the pressure on.
Yeah, brilliantly done. It's 44.59 for Erin Ballard. Nothing to add, no fences down. That means no 3 seconds added. It's quite a big ask for her matchup rider, if you like, for Niall Nassar. Jiminy Cricket, not a horse that we've seen on this circuit in the team competition yet, but that's the ride here today, and he needs to beat 44.59 to get Team Helios a third podium finish of the year. The Trelawney Trailblazers, excuse me. The Trailblazers are the team looking for the bronze here now, of course.
And instinctively, he'll know he has to be pretty quick just because Erin, that's how she rides. Although if he was watching, say he'll have seen that she was pretty wide from 1 to 2. She really over-jumped the first fence, but not taking, I think trying to not take anything for granted with what happened to Roberto Turan there, that we just saw.
Well, Niall was the gold medal jump-off winner in Toronto to get the Trailblazers their second win of the season. Now it's not going to be a third win, but they'd like a fourth podium finish.
Very slick. 9 strides there. That was good. Well, he's already up, I think.
Ooh, quickly away.
Yeah, very quick. Oh, you cost him. Wow.
Oh. That's not what we expected.
Can he crack it back? Can he pull that
44.59 to beat. Oh, this is going to be very tight. Very, very tight indeed.
Not a chance.
No, I don't think he'll make
He
it.
didn't even have the actual running time, did he?
44.94 is going to be the time for Niall Nassar. Just over.
Just over the time.
Just
Yeah, I caught myself out there. I forgot the 3
the
seconds
3
was already added.
The 3 seconds
I
was in
thought he
there.
was quite a bit quicker.
Yeah, he was, and he would have made it. But unfortunately, that fence down for Niall Nassar means that the Trelawney Trailblazers are going to finish in 4th place.
Wow.
This is the first time they're off the podium.
Coach Madden will not be thrilled.
No, absolutely. But again, there's hardly anything in it. You know, 44.94 to 44.49. Yep. I know that Niall's had the fence included there as well, but actually not much in it. Well, Stephen Wild is going to take us through that bronze medal jump off and take us into the gold medal matchup.
Well, it goes close between the two teams, and it may be breezy around, but breezing to the top of that group. So finishing in 3rd place and onto the podium is Team Helios with Erin Ballard. The Canadian brings it home for Team Helios. Congratulations to her, 44.59 against Niall Nassar and the Trailblazers, 44.94. Just a whisker between those two. It was close in the end, but a rail down there for Niall just puts them behind the curve. And so it is Helios that will go into 3rd place. Now the battle really opens up for the top two teams, for the Eye Candy team and the Roadrunners. And it's going to see the ride of Jessica Mendoza going first with ICAP CLZ up against Daniel Coyle and Ivory TCS. This is Great Britain against Ireland. This is Eye Candy up against the team currently at the bottom of the table that want to lift themselves up with some key points here. They came in here with a big determination to get some big points for the Roadrunners, but a lady stands in their way, and that's the very fast Jessica Mendoza who will go first for that squad. So here we go into the gold medal round to decide this Ottawa stage of the Major League Show Jump. Here they go.
This is crunch time then. The winner of this fourth leg of the series will be either the Roadrunners or Team Eye Candy. What a matchup we have. It's going to be Jessica Mendoza against Daniel Coyle. Jessica will be riding ICAP CLZ, and Daniel Coyle will come forward with Ivory TCS. We'll turn to Team Eye Candy first. Jessica Mendoza. The times we're getting in this third round are about 44 seconds, just over 44 and a half, something like that. You know, Niall was considerably quicker.
Well, I have to say, I think Jess has got it all on. ICAP gave her a bit of a tough ride, and she handled him incredibly well, but just stayed inside the flag. Absolutely incredible. He jumped so high and swung right, he almost popped out the flag. Actually, it looks a little smoother this time around. Wrestling a little bit. There's a little bit of the right to left. Now come back a little bit left to right. Make the room. Come on, Jess. Oh, she just got a little steady there. She couldn't find the distance. Couldn't find the distance.
Well, it's a pole down for Jessica Mendoza, and the time that we're seeing here is 47.54. 47.54. And yes, that does indeed have the 3 seconds added in there as well. So that is the final time for Jessica Mendoza, 47.54. That is what Daniel Coyle has to beat. What a man to do it.
Yeah, it's, it has completely opened the door for him. He's barely going to have to think about it. Unless, of course, he has a cheap rail. But, of course, he did have that, remember? He had that skinny rail in the first round.
Yeah.
And we wondered if that might prove costly.
Well, it's down to the final rider here, Daniel Coyle, world number 15. He's representing the Road Runners here, and the time he's got to beat is 47.54. He's going for gold. It would be the best result that the Road Runners have had all season. And in fact, in 2022, they never won.
Really?
Yep, never won a single leg, never even finished on the podium.
Wow.
So this would be their best result in the last 2 seasons. Daniel Coyle, Ivory TCS. Jumped clear in Toronto, double clear in Vancouver for Daniel as well.
Okay, just hedging his bets a little bit. Took a little bit of extra time, get around to 2, and then move on up, then balance. Stayed pretty impressive on the inside track there. Like how he moves away and then settles. He knows he doesn't have to run her off her feet. But you want to have some time in the bank just in case. Fair slithered over that back rail. This is the one. This is the jump. Oh, she almost did again. Almost did it again.
47.54 to beat. Yes, he's got there. He's got there. Daniel Coyle absolutely pulling it out of the bag just when it matters here in Ottawa. What an amazing round.
He really held on tight there. She slithered over that skinny rail, the Welsh Dragon, and then he was on and home, hosed and dried, as we like to say, at the Maple Leaf Oxa.
What a fantastic, fantastic round, Daniel Coyle. Looks like he's just taking a breath there, and I don't blame him at all.
I'm sure he's absolutely pounding, Hannah.
Just brilliant. And as I say, that's the best ever result for the Roadrunners. Their first win in 2 seasons. No win last year, no podium last year. And they were sitting in 7th in the season standings. They've had a 4th and 2 8ths. Now, a win. This could be the turnaround for them.
Yep. Yeah, you just need that kind of springboard, right? A little bit of self-belief. Let the results come your way.
Yeah, 100%. They need the results to keep coming, and it may not make too much of a difference to the Roadrunners' season standings, but it's getting quite tight in the scoring there. And of course, in a minute's time, we will bring you those updated season standings, because this is a crucial stage of the season.
Thank you very much. Yes, Jeff, we were getting a catch-up with the teams that tried. Well, we were trying to quickly get the sashes on and get it all looking good. There we go. Second place there, Jess. Jessica, for you, great try.
Yeah, I mean, he was great. I had a good first half of the course, and I just didn't get the distance I wanted to the skinny. So I don't think I would have beat Daniel anyway, so it makes me feel a bit better.
Good matchup there, but the English girl was scuppered by the Welsh dragon.
I don't know. I don't think that, but we'll let him have this one. We'll come back for the next one.
Eye candy, good points there for you as a team. Gets you back in the frame there. Previous champions, you're enjoying this.
Yeah, no, it's great to be a part of this team, and everyone's really competitive, and we get along great, so it's nice to be a part of.
How do you feel? And you can put some fast rounds together. I mean, we saw you nearly jumping the standard over at the Ottawa fence there. Really trying.
Yeah, it's actually his first show on grass. He wasn't spooky yesterday, but today we were spooky. So we had fun at the wall in the first round, but thank God in the second round he didn't mind.
Well, you're up against the world number 15. That's not a bad day at the office.
No, I mean, we were happy. We were second either way. I tried to give it a good shot, but at least we finished with some good money and a good points for the team.
You did. Silver medal. Well done, Jessica. You're going to head off to the podium. Jessica Mendoza, well done for Team Eye Candy. And we're going to take a look again at that winning round of Daniel Coyle.
Well, John, taking another look at this round from Daniel Coyle, because it was really something. Great to hear there from Jessica Mendoza, of course, the rider who clinched the second place for Eye Candy, silver medal for them, and that's really important in terms of their season standings. But the man of the hour, Daniel Coyle.
Well, and this is why Hannah, he's where he is in the world rankings. He knew exactly what he had to do. He knew he didn't go after blazing quick. Jump the first, drop inside, do the little ad stride there, leave the fence up. But just see how he gets away. Covers across the ground, then throws the anchor out, slows it down a little bit, little room there, trusts her scope coming out. Again, land, go, balance. Finds that on the fly, which is a real nice ride. He knows here he can come in really tight, gets that right to left drift, then come back around left to right. It's the fastest way to do that 5-stride. This is the one that he was worried about. You could see him balance right up there, and she just skimmed over it. And then from here, he says, okay, now I just got to sit, enjoy the trip. I know I've got it done. At this point, he knows he's got it done.
Absolutely. Gets it done, gets the win for the Roadrunners. Stephen Wild is standing by with the man of the hour, Daniel Coyle, to hear from him, the winning rider.
Yes, I'm down with Daniel Coyle. He's just been watching that round back. Daniel, what was your take on your winning round?
Yeah, actually, Ivory jumped fantastic, I thought. I had a little bit of advantage because the other team had one fence down already. So, yeah, I still had to get it done, but huge credit to having McLean here. Obviously, is a big help, but Amanda's the winner for me today. We really, really needed her, and she gave us the round that put us in the fight.
Yeah, the round she pulled out in round 2. And that's where it really works as a team. Although we're looking at you with all the glory at the end of it, that's where it works as a team, because she really was key.
Yeah, she was very key today. Obviously, McLean, the very first round, he was phenomenal. Amanda and I also had a silly fence the first round. But it's a unique format, and it's great because horses and animals make mistakes. And in every sport, that maybe doesn't happen. So it's nice in this one, you can still win.
You've got Canadian owners as well. That's good for you. And you said as well, Ottawa's a pretty lucky show for you.
Yeah, it's been a few years since I was here, but yeah, this week's been phenomenal so far. Just one more to go.
Grand Prix to come. Daniel Coyle, congratulations. And you said to us earlier on today, we looked at your position in the championship. We are equal 7th, which means last. You're not anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, it's great for us to get a score on the board and let everybody know we're actually here.
Absolutely. Well done today. Great job to you. Great job to McLean. Great job to Amanda.
Thank you.
Well done, Daniel Cole, part of our winning team here today for the Roadrunners, and a brilliant win for them. We're going to see how that affects the championship as well.
Yes, at this point in the season, we've had leg 4, and it's the overall standings which have been crucial at this stage. The Trailblazers still lead the way. Of course, they finished in 4th place, but they're out in front still on the 62 points. But the gap is closing. Team Eye Candy are in that 2nd place spot with their 45 points now. And of course, that 2nd place finish today, that was crucial. Helios, though, just 1 point behind them still. It's still tight there. A little bit of a gap then to the Northern Lights in 4th. And then we have that real bunched up group, Northern Lights, Crusaders, the Roadrunners, the Spico Spies, those last two being on the same number of points. Sadly, Team KPF trailing.
Yeah, they're, I don't know if there is relegation in this league, Hannah, but they're very much in danger of it, is Team KPF. But they're the middle is tightly packed, lots to play for. And I mean, good for Trailblazers. They got the points in the bank, but everyone's starting to, I think, really find their feet and find their way here. So lots still to play for as we head into the second half of the season.
Absolutely. Leg 5 will be coming up in just a couple of weeks' time. We'll go back to Traverse City, but the Trailblazers still lead the way, but a great win for the Roadrunners here today.